And it has a crazy long cooldown. So I'm going to cut the video so you guys don't have to wait. We have a situation. Okay, so I waited until my cooldown came back, and then I used my Clear Skies shout to clear this up, and then did a lot more, all while recording after installing a webcam that reset my default mic. So it was drawing audio from the wrong mic, and suffice to say I lost a lot of commentated footage. I tried to go back and do a commentary after the fact over the recording, but that didn't really work out very well either. So I'm approaching Paarthurnax now at the very top of the throat of the world. You guys didn't miss anything else as far as the journey up here. But I've already been through this dialogue once, and I don't have a save point before I went through it. So you guys aren't going to officially see his intro dialogue. He actually isn't sitting there when you first come up. He's up in the sky circling, and he drops down. You guys are going to have to miss parts of his initial dialogue, but I'm going to cover all the important topics again anyway. So here we go.
Dremyolok, greetings.
I may have to preface this a little bit actually. So in some of his intro dialogue, he reveals a few different things to me. He reveals that the Dragonborn shout was created by man. It's a Thu'um created by man. It's the first one that was created by man. It's, I think, the only one. And he doesn't know it. The only way to learn it is off of those who created it, which indicates that I have to go back in time to them. And he revealed something else. Alduin was never defeated back in the day. He was only cast forward in time using an Elder Scroll. So, with that preface being laid down, what do I do with the Elder Scroll when I find it?
Return it here to the Tid Achran. Then, Kele Vomindok. Nothing is certain with such things. But I believe the scroll's bond with the Tid Achran will allow you a seeing, a vision of the moment of its creation.
The Tid Achran is the time wound.
Then you will feel, know Dragonrend in the power of its first expression. You will see them, Wuthfadon, my friends, Haken, Gormlaith, Feldir.
Haken, Gormlaith, Feldir, who are they?
The first mortals that I taught the Thu'um, the first tongues, the leaders of the rebellion against Alduin. They were mighty in their day, even to attempt to defeat Alduin. Sachrot-Hun, the Nords have had many heroes since, but none greater.
Including Tiber Septim. How could an Elder Scroll cast Alduin through time?
Vormendok, I do not know. Perhaps in the very doing, they erased the knowing of it from time itself. The Dove are children of Akatosh.
Dove
Thus,
of the dragons.
We are specially attuned to the flow of time, perhaps also uniquely vulnerable. I warned them against such a rash action. Even I could not foresee its consequences. Nustlihorn, they would not listen.
You mean you were there?
Yes. There were a few of us that rebelled against Alduin's Thur, his tyranny. We aided the humans in his overthrow. But they did not trust us, ni Ov. Their inner counsels were kept hidden from us. I was far from here on the day of Alduin's downfall, but all Dove felt the sundering of time itself.
The sundering of time. What does the Dragon Rin shout actually do?
I cannot tell you in detail. I never heard it used. Kogan. It was the first Thu'um created solely by mortals. It was said to force a dragon to experience the concept of mortality. A truly von Mindoran. Incomprehensible idea to the immortal Dove.
Okay, and then he revealed to me that you can meditate on words of power, which basically allows you to focus yourself on a shout and get a passive bonus to that shout.
Which calls to you, Dovahkiin? Fus, Faim, or Yol?
Each of these are the first words of various shouts. Fus being Fusroda, which is unrelenting force. Faim being fade, which is become ethereal. Yol being the fire breath, the first word of fire breath, fire for the flames. So I'm going to go through these real quick and then show the active effect of each.
It is called force in your tongue. But as you push the world, so does the world push back. Think of the way force may be applied effortlessly. Imagine but a whisper pushing aside all in its path. That is Fus. Let its meaning fill you. Sum Ark Mora. You will push the world harder than it pushes back.
It didn't say it. The first time you talk to him and ask to focus on Fus, though, it will have a notification in the top left corner that an active effect has been added. And the active effect is force without effort. You stagger 25% less and foes stagger 25% more. This does not only affect shouts. This is everything in the game. So if you're like a dual wielder, you will get more staggers off whenever you have this force without effort. Fortunately, that I'm a destruction mage, I have impact, and I have basically a stagger on command. That withers away some of the usefulness of force without effect. Foes stagger 25% more. I always stagger them 100% anyway, so that doesn't really help me out. Another thing that you missed that I just now thought of, you can kind of see the carvings here in the wall. In the original dialogue with him, before he started talking to me to prove that I was Dovahkiin, he breathed fire at this wall and put a word on it, and I went and read it, and from it I got the second word of fire breath. Actually, holy crap, I've got all three words. Wow. That's interesting because I have not done the companion quest that I thought has one of those words. So now I have level 3 fire breath. That's something else you guys missed in my video managing Fupa.
Speak. I will
so,
listen.
force makes you stagger 25% less and everybody else stagger 25% more. Thu'um or fade.
Fade in your tongue. Mortals have greater affinity for this word than the Dove. Everything mortal fades away in time, but the spirit remains. Ponder the meaning of spirit. Unslad Zi, where mortal flesh may wither and die, the spirit endures. That is fine. Let that meaning fill you. Sum Ark Mora. You will find that your spirit will give you more strength.
Eternal Spirit added. So Eternal Spirit gives you a benefit that you can only have while ethereal. So I'm going to use Become Ethereal here. And then while I'm ethereal, I have an active effect called Eternal Spirit. While ethereal, you recover health 25% faster. So that, I think, is potentially a pretty good one for a caster, because Become Ethereal can save you from damage, can keep you from, taking that last killing blow, and with this focus, you also regenerate health while you're in it. Now, the only thing that makes that not really synergize with the mage is that if I get hit, I tend to die. So there's not really a whole lot of situations where I need to heal where that would help me. Although Become Ethereal is pretty useful in dodging effects. So he's only got one more focus. I think there are others elsewhere in the world, but I haven't found them yet. So now I'm going to explore his final focus, Yol.
In your tongue, the word simply means fire. It is change given form, power at its most primal. That is the true meaning of Yol. Solyak, power. You have it, as do all Dove. But power is inert without action and choice. Think of this as the fire builds in your sum, in your breath. Sum arc mora. What will you burn? What will you spare?
And here I am given the Fire Within, which is the one that I'm going to be sticking with for the time being. The Fire Within grants... Maybe? Yeah, there we go. 25% bonus damage to Fire Breath. Now, I just got level 3 of the Fire Breath, so I'm going to be using it just to test it out anyway. And this makes it do 25% damage. So let me see if I can crunch some numbers real fast. So, level 3 of Fire Breath does 90 fire damage. Adding 25 to that is roughly 25%. That's almost a full 25 points of damage. It's actually like 22.5 extra points of damage to your already 90 damage Fire Shout. So it puts it right above 100. Just to give you some perspective, my expert level projectile destruction spell that takes, I want to say, about a third of my mana. I may try it out here in a second just to show. It does 90 points of damage. So that, and that's with fire perks as well. So my most powerful single target fire spell. And let's see how much mana that takes. Oh, it actually takes about half of my mana. So Fire Breath is now the equivalent of about half of my mana pool, is the way I'm going to look at that. I'm going to sum it up just that simply. So there you have Paarthurnax, level 3 Fire Shout, and Shout Focus. He mentioned something about having to find the scrolls and the College of Winterhold probably being the best place to go to locate that. However, he also said that I should speak to Arngeir to see if he knows anything about the Elder Scrolls. So I'm going to go back to High Hrothgar real fast. We're going to speak to Arngeir and see what he has to say. And then we're going to go in search of the Elder Scrolls. I might, actually, while I have a loading screen here, let me poke around in my guide and see if it happens to mention anything about other focuses, because that would be pretty dang cool. Words to live by, the rule of the Thu'um. Shout example. Alright, so Hrothgar now is laid out before me. Hey-oh, sorry I'm not using my mouse hand right now, so it looks a little goofy. There we go, I set the book down, I now have my mouse hand back. Let us speak to Arngeir. See what the old chap has to say. And then likely go see what some college mages have to say. Arngeir.
So, you spoke to Paarthurnax. The dragon blood burns bright within you. Did he tell you what you wanted to know? Did he teach you the dragon rend shout?
No, but he told me how to find out.
So be it. If he believes it is necessary for you to learn this, we will bow to his wisdom.
I need the Elder Scroll the ancients used. Do you know where to find it?
We have never concerned ourselves with the scrolls. The gods themselves would rightly fear to tamper with such things.
Gods themselves.
As for where to find it, such blasphemies have always been the stock and trade of the Mages of Winterhold. They may be able to tell you something about the Elder Scroll you seek.
Or the monks of Fort Moonmoth, back in Oblivion, back in Cyrodiil. Is there another way to defeat Alduin? Any idea where to find the Elder Scroll? What's so bad about the Dragon Rend Shout? I don't think I'm going to. Most of these look inconsequential. They look like they're just backup information.
Guide.
So he's told me that I should go to the College of Winterhold. I will do just that, Arngeir. Such blasphemies have always been the stock and trade of mages. He seems almost disgusted with my kind. What if it burns him up inside that a mage, a practitioner of magic, was gifted the birthright of the Dovahkiin? I'm sure